What's up, y'all? It's Ty. In this video today, we're going to be going over the new Rivals cards added into College Football Ultimate Team, my thoughts on them, and more specifically, remember, these cards, team chemistries, can't be changed, and they go 5 times for their specific schools. For example, if you want an Oklahoma team chemistry, Dominic Williams gets that +5 or Oklahoma team chemistry, but he's locked in Oklahoma. You can't change that. So for everybody that has a theme team of a different team, we're kind of cooked. Genuinely. Like, you're kind of cooked as far as adding these Rivals cards to your collection, which I'll explain as we do go through this video. Dominic Williams, 76 speed, 78 acceleration, just kind of slow. He's fine. He's going to stop the run. He's a fine defensive tackle. There's nothing really crazy about the card, though. Sylvian Janjoden up next. I think is how you, Janjuin up next. 82 speed, 84 acceleration, decent block shed, decent power move, finesse move. The thing for me is, like, he's just not super fast. He's fine, not super fast. Anthony Wilson, 87 speed, 86 acceleration, really solid zone coverage. Not great in man coverage, but if you do play a lot of zone coverage, Anthony Wilson can play. Schlen Baker up next, 85 speed for a running back. Pretty big yikes. I mean, again, I like elusive. I don't know. I just like fast backs. Like, I mix it up between balance and power. That's why I like Caleb Johnson so much. This card is fine. Not great. Holstein, he's put up some big numbers. I think earlier on in the season especially. Only has that 82 speed. He's an improviser with 82 speed. Doesn't necessarily add up to me. Gonna throw the ball pretty decent, though, is Eli Holstein. Next up, we do see Dan Jackson, strong safety from Georgia. Now, I will say this. A couple of weeks ago, people might have built the Georgia team chemistry. I don't know exactly what they were ranked. If you have a Georgia team chemistry, Jackson can play 89 speed, 88 acceleration, good in zone coverage. This card's really good, actually, for an overall card. I like him. It just comes down to, again, that team chemistry aspect you can't change. Jake Majors, if you have a Texas team chemistry, again, can fit that. Better run blocker than pass blocker slightly. He's a fine center. Nothing too crazy. Price Sock up next. 89 speed, 88 acceleration. Really good man coverage. If you play a lot of man coverage, this card could be really solid for you guys. Now, I do want to see this card's height, because obviously height is super important in the game. Everybody kind of knows that. This card is 6'4". So, this card could be really good, but the problem is, again, if you change your team chemistry, you can't really do that. Now, if you don't run a squad with team chemistries, if you haven't spent any coins, anything like that, Price Hawk is an absolute beast to add to your specific squad. 6'4", great speed, great man coverage. Just a better version of a guy, let's say, like Darian Porter, in my opinion. Here you guys go. I would not do those exchanges, but obviously they're in the game. Ethan Downs, Boomer Soner, 85 speed, 87 acceleration, good block shed, solid power move. I don't mind this card whatsoever. He's going to get after the quarterback. Complete right end in the game. The problem is we have better right ends right now in the game. And so that's the problem I have with Ethan Downs. He's fine, though. You guys can see you can upgrade these players as well. So we'll get into how you upgrade these players specifically. But you can upgrade them. And then when you do upgrade this Ethan Down cards, his strength, speed, tackle, power moves goes up as well. So he does get a little bit better. You guys can see there with the boost. Nothing too crazy here. So how do you do it? Well, you obtain Rivals tokens through the squad's Gauntlet, and then you can upgrade your players to a 92 overall. Again, we'll talk about that in a second. Again, the problem is you can't change your team chemistries, anything like that. CJ Donaldson's base card is okay. Nothing too crazy about him. Obviously, again, you will be able to upgrade this card with those specific upgrades, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. I don't love CJ Donaldson, though. He is a power back. I just personally wish his elusiveness was a little bit better. Or maybe I don't even want to say elusiveness, but like, because we don't know his, spin move, juke move. But like, the 77 catching isn't necessarily great. Ahmari Harvey, only 6 feet tall, 91 speed, solid acceleration, really good in zone coverage. If you run zone coverage, this card's going to be an absolute beast, especially with that upgrade token. Again, we don't know exactly what stats get upgraded, but he is going to be able to get upgraded. Again, the problem is that team chemistry aspect. Brock Dio up next, Washington State. Good pass blocker, good run blocker. Overall, really solid card. Nothing too crazy here, but this card can absolutely play for you guys at a really, really, really high level. So that's kind of my opinion on those cards. Next up, Jaydon Chatman from Texas. 94 strength. Solid pass blocker, solid run blocker, but he's a better pass blocker. And like I said, a lot of people might be running that Texas team chem. It's just tough, though. These cards you cannot, can't change your team chemistry. So that absolutely stinks. This card's good though. He's absolutely good. 94 strength is crazy on Jaydon Chatman. Dominic Lovett up next. 91 speed, solid catching, solid route running. Now I will say this. For people out there that haven't messed with team chemistries, it's going to be really easy to get some of these cards with some team chemistries. Because let's say you have 2 Georgia players. Well, you run those couple of Georgia players, they're going to see a big time boost because those +5 that each of these cards do get. It's kind of a complicated situation. But Lovett is a really good wide receiver. 91 speed, good route runner. I like what Lovett gives you in this game. Defensive tackle, Jacob Bandis. Solid strength, solid tackle, solid block shed, solid power move, 81 speed, decent acceleration. This card's good. I just feel like we have defensive tackles that are just as good in this game. Kyle Lewis up next, 88 speed, really solid block shed, solid power move, finesse move. I like this card, especially as a run stopper. Want to see what that zone coverage does look like for Lewis though. If he doesn't have good, zone coverage, it's gonna be pretty tough for Kyle Lewis. Now, here's the deal. Okay, here's what you guys need to know about the rival set today. There's a new squads gauntlet. Now look, I don't even have any friends that play this game, okay? So I'm not gonna get this done. However, it is something that could be worth your time. Now, what is Squads Gauntlet? How does it work? Well, let's take a look. It's the same type of thing, and you get 3 entries per week. And if you get 10 wins, you're champions. And here are the rewards. So if you get to 10 wins in the Gauntlet, you get a Rivals upgrade token, as well as an 87 plus overall Rivals player pack 3 times and 30,000 coins. So with those rival tokens, like I've kind of already talked about, you can use those on specific players. So you can use that to upgrade these cards to make them even better, which could be super helpful, super impactful, especially if you do not run a team chemistry type team. So I'll phrase it like this. Again, this drop is different. It's complicated. And if you have a team chemistry, like I've got the Oregon team chemistry, this drop to me is useless. It's absolutely useless. However, if you don't have a team chemistry, this drop could be good. Especially if you play squads and want to run in the squads gauntlet, this could be for you guys if you do not run a team chem. Because there are some really good cards to pick up. Like I said, if you pick up those, upgrades, it could be useful for you guys. I just feel like for the majority of the community, this is not going to be a good drop for them. I just think for the majority of the community, this isn't going to be a drop that is like super impactful. Like I said, I really like a card like Dominic Lovett. I think this card's a beast. I like some of these other cards, like even Lewis. I think this card has a ton of potential. But when I'm looking at this drop and if it's going to be useful for the majority of the community, I just don't know if it is. And again, for me, I get it, right? Like they're trying to give things for everybody. But like, you can't change team chemistries without losing a bunch of coins, and nobody is really gonna do it. Like, nobody is gonna refund all their team chemistries just so they can use these rival players. So for me, like, I like the concept, but why not be able to change these team chemistries? That would be able to fix all of everything I'm talking about right now. But the fact that you can't leaves a lot to be desired. None of these cards are game-breaking good. There's no LTD featured in this drop. It's a unique drop. I just don't know if I love it. Let me know your thoughts on it. Like I said, if you don't run a team chemistry right now, it's a fine drop. It's an absolutely fine drop if you don't run a team chemistry. I do like the fact that there's a grind with it. It just comes down to, for me, I don't play squads anyways. And so it's like, I mean, this part of the drop to me isn't necessarily super impactful. Like the squads gauntlet rewards. It's just not something I'm going to play. Let me know your thoughts on it, guys. Are you excited about it? Not excited? Drop a like on the video. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.